End of year tapping session. I am going to teach you a tapping technique today called the bundling baggage technique. And our theme is all the things that happened this year. So we're going to go back through a journey starting from January all the way through to today, December 1st, the time of this recording. And we're going to do a releasing and a receiving practice using EFT that's going to help your body somatically just really release all the things that happened this year, the good, the bad, the lessons, all the things in this one session today. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because tapping is an incredibly dynamic technique and tool that is more than just what you see when you're tapping with me on these new moon and full moon sessions. There are different techniques we teach. Bundling baggage is one of them, and it's incredibly effective. We often use it when people are coming into a session and they have a lot of things to tap on. Maybe they are, moving or going through a job transition or going through health challenges, and they have a lot of things. They don't know which one to tap on. This is a technique that we use to help people get really clear and also get an outside perspective. So if you're really in it right now, this is going to pull you out and help you see the bigger picture, and as always, help you feel that sense of peace and ease that you get with tapping. So say hi when you get here. Hi, Kayla Nicole from My Line Purpose. Thank you so much for being here with me. And for all of you watching live or on the replay, make sure you say hi once you're here. And let me dive in and teach you this tapping technique today. So to begin, I invite you to find somewhere that you can take some time for yourself, that you can try this out. We will be tapping, so making sure you're not driving and you're in a safe place to close your eyes and tune in. All right, let's dive in. So as always, closing your eyes, rolling your shoulders open, opening up your heart and chest. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Setting aside anything you were doing before this. Anything you'll go to after this. Creating space just for yourself right now to tune into all the things that happened this year. The intention of this session is to help you release so that you can receive. And together we're going to go back through the biggest lessons of the year, the biggest gifts, honoring who you've become, and really helping you feel powerful and equipped as you step into this last month, into this next season. Help you feel powerful in your body, excited, and ready. All right, so to begin, I am going to invite you to do some tapping with me, and you guys might not have done this before because I know most of you see the new moon and full moon tapping, but this type of tapping we use what's called the finger point. So you're just tapping on the side of the nail bed, and it's like tapping and meditation together. So tapping on the side of the nail bed, you're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just tapping on the side of the nail. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine some kind of container, bundle, or bin. This is called the bundling baggage technique, and how we start is by visualizing some kind of container, bundle, or bin. And whatever that looks like for you. Just take a moment to describe it to yourself. You can say it out loud or say it in your head. How big is it? What color is it? What does it look like? Is it positioned in front of you, to the side? Let's take a moment right now to get all the details that you can. And once you see this container, bundle, or bin, we're going to go on a little journey together. We're going to step back into January of 2023. And I want you to think about where you were, who you were with, what you were doing. And all the things that happened in January, imagine putting it into this bin. And then we're going to step into February of 2023, and thinking about where you were, who you were with, what you were doing, any of the lessons, any of the challenges, putting it all into this bin. And then when you're ready, I want you to step into March, thinking about where you were in March of this year. Who you were with, what you were doing, any of the good or the bad or the ugly. And just see yourself putting it into this container or bin of all the things that happened this year. And anything that maybe people didn't know about, but you were silently processing or going through, letting it all go into this container or bin now. Good, now we'll move into April of this year. Thinking about where you were at in your journey. What were some of the things you were going through? What were some of the things that happened? And putting one by one all these things into this container or bin. And then we'll step into May, remembering the things that you were doing, the people you were with, any memories, any moments. Putting it into the bin. Any fears, anything that is still there, putting it all into this container or bin now. Then stepping into June 2023, who were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? What was going on in your life at that time? Putting it all into that bin. And then stepping into July of 2023. Any moments, any memories, anything that happened, putting it into the bin. And just look at your bin right now. Maybe you're starting to see it stack up. Maybe it's half full. All the things that happened this year, we're putting all the things inside this container or bin. As we step into August, whatever happened in August, putting it in the bin. Whoever you were with, whatever you were doing, putting it all inside there now. As you move through into September, maybe you see some changes or some things happen. Putting it all into this bin. And then heading into October, thinking about who you were, where you were in October, who you were with. Thinking about who you've become, what you overcame, putting it all into this bin. And then finally November arrives, thinking about who you were just a month ago, the things you went through, the lessons, the experiences. Putting it all into this bin now. As you arrive here at December 1st, and if you watch this after, you can put everything in that's up until the point in time that you are in today. Seeing all the things that happened this year inside this bin. And then putting the lid on it, and we're tying it up. And noticing now how you feel. Looking at this container of bin of all the things that happened this year. How do you feel right now about all the things that happened this year? When you look at this container or bin, how do you feel? And how big does it feel on a scale of 0 to 10? So This, if you're watching the replay, this might be a moment to pause, and I'm going to give everyone a moment to pause, and you can write down, like, how do I feel about all the things that happened this year that's inside this bin? And you might have multiple feelings, like, wow, I feel really grateful for the lessons. Wow, I feel like this year was really challenging or hard. This is just a moment for you to check in about how you're feeling today about all the things that happened this year, and just write any of them down. And then also write down, on a scale of 0 to 10, how big is this bundle? How big is this bin or container? And then when you're ready, we're going to tap on it. So when I'm working with someone who, you can use this technique for multiple reasons, but if I'm working with someone who has gone through something really challenging or hard, we might put everything that happened around that scenario into that bin. And what that does is it gives you space from it. Instead of feeling like it's happening to you, it's like, oh, all this stuff is over there. So it can get some perspective on it and allows the body to relax. So that's one way we use it. In this sense, though, this is just for us to get some perspective on how we feel about the year we just went through, do some reflection and journaling on it. And now we're going to do some tapping to move through it. And the cool thing is, after we do the tapping, you're probably going to see the image shift. All right, so let's do this. If you want to, you can close your eyes and tap on the side of the hand, whatever you're more comfortable with, eyes open or closed, and say, even though I have this big bin of stuff, and it contains all the things that happened this year, and it's pretty big right now, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have this big bin of stuff that contains all the things that happened this year, I love and accept myself anyway. And I'm open to letting it go now. Tapping on the side of the hand and say, even though all these things happened this year, some of it was challenging and some of it was really good. I can see it all from a different point of view now. And I love and accept myself today. Good. Let's go to the top of the head and say, there's this big bin of stuff. Eyebrow point. All the things that happened this year. Side of the eye. And when I look at it, I feel, and I want you to fill in the blank of how you feel. Underneath the eye. When I look at this big bin of stuff, underneath the nose, and everything that happened this year, underneath the mouth, I feel, and say how you feel. Collarbone point. I'm going to do some examples. I feel really proud of myself. Underneath the arms, I feel ready to let it go. Underneath the chest, I feel proud of who I've become. Wrist point. When I look at this bin of stuff, top of the head, I see it from a new perspective. Eyebrow point. All the things that happened this year. Side of the eye, and how I feel about it now. Underneath the eye, when I look at this bin of stuff. Underneath the nose, how do I feel in my body? Underneath the mouth, I feel, fill in the blank. Collarbone point. I feel grateful for the growth and ready to let it go. Underneath the arms, all the things that happened this year. Good job. So you can stop tapping and take a deep breath. And with your eyes closed, go back to tapping on the finger points. And I want you to look at this bin of stuff of all the things that happened this year. And notice if it is still there, if it has changed at all. Noticing how you're feeling about it now. And also noticing if anything in particular stands out. Is there any one thing in particular that happened this year that really stands out? So it could be a couple of things, and just take a moment and write those things down. So these are really important because those experiences shaped you into who you are. And if they challenged you, if they scared you, if they forced you to change or become somebody new, those experiences are really significant. And there may be parts of yourself in those experiences that need a little bit deeper healing. So take a moment to write them down. You know, for me, there was a moment in March that was really challenging. I had somebody steal a lot of money from me. And so that's one moment that stuck out. Another moment for me is when my daughter got her first gold medal in gymnastics. Like, that was a beautiful moment. That moment stuck out. There was a moment when in July when I ended up in the hospital. That moment stuck out. So writing down any of the moments that you feel hold a lot of energetic charge for you or emotional charge for you, and just notice there might be a part of myself from that moment, from March, from July, that needed a little extra support. What does that version of me need? What does that version of me in March need? What does she need to know from this new perspective that I have now? So this is some deep work. I'm really applauding you for doing this because we're going deep today. But when you look at that bundle, if there's any couple memories that pull out, which ones are they? And what did that younger version of you, what did she need to know in that moment? So from you today, the older, wiser you, what do you want that younger you to know from that moment, that day? So for me, that day in March, what do I want that younger version of me to know? That day in July when I was in the hospital, what do I want that younger version of me to know? And just send messages to that younger self now. And this is really an energetic cleanup before the end of the year. This will prevent any past, as you move forward into the future, this will prevent any of your past selves showing back up again to sometimes sabotage you or look for your attention and deeper healing. You can heal it now in the moment in this year. So giving that younger self the words, the reminders, whatever she needed to know, giving it to her now. All right. So the next step now is tune back in. How does this bundle look? And if stuff is pulled out, that's okay. We're going to tap again on the side of the hand. And we're going to say, even though I have all this stuff that happened this year. And there were a few core moments that really stood out. I want to send a message to that younger me now. Letting her know that she gets through it, that she rises from it, and she builds resiliency because of it. I send these past parts of me love and reassurance now. Even though I had this bin of all the stuff that happened this year, there's a few core moments that really stood out. I want to remind these younger versions of me of their power today. Reassuring them that they rise from this moment. Even though I have this bin of stuff, all the things that happened this year, I love and accept myself anyway. I'm ready to feel complete with it now. I'm ready to release it and let it go. Good job. Let's go to the top of the head and say, I give myself permission to let go. Eyebrow point, to release this bin of stuff. Side of the eye, all the things that happened this year. Underneath the eye, I am grateful for my growth. Underneath the nose, I'm grateful for who I've become in this journey. Underneath the mouth, this stage of the journey is complete. Collarbone point, I honor everything that happened this year. Underneath the arms, and I give myself permission to let it go. Underneath the chest, and as I do this, I stand here today. Wrist point, feeling relieved and ready. Top of the head, ready for this new cycle. Eyebrow point, ready for this new season. Side of the eye, I am stepping into this next chapter. Underneath the eye, feeling grateful for what got me here. Underneath the nose, but ready for what's next. All right, good job. So you can stop tapping, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and tune in to the bundle of things, all the things that happened this year. And just notice if it's changed at all. Is it farther away? Is it closer to you? Looking at the details of what's it doing. And there's no right or wrong answer to this because everyone's going to have a different experience. Also, everyone visualizes differently, so if you can't see it perfectly, that's totally okay. And if there's anything left that you need to do, that you need to say before you release this bundle or this bin of all the things that happened this year, just ask yourself, what is it that I need to do now? And then when you're ready, see yourself turning away from the bin and towards the future. When you turn away from the bin and towards the future, just visualize yourself on this new path. There's a new season that's arrived. There's new energy that's here. It's a new time beginning. Trusting that all past parts of you are receiving the healing, the support, the guidance that they need. And feel that you have released, and so now you can receive. It's like dropping a backpack that's been heavy. You're lighter now. All the things that happened this year, you've taken time to process them, to thank them, and there is just a new road ahead. Seeing and feeling the new road ahead with excitement, with curiosity, and with determination. And if you want, you can visualize yourself starting to walk down that road. You can even tap on the finger points and just see yourself walking down the road ahead of you. Getting a preview of what is to come. Getting excited for the things that you're discovering. A little peep into the people you'll meet, the things that you'll do. Stepping into this new energy, new chapter, New beginning now. Feeling this new life force through your body. Feeling the new beginning in your body. Feeling the new version of you landing in your body now. And who is she? How does she feel? And what is she like? She is an unstoppable force. She is having tons of fun. She is guided by God and in flow. Get a preview of your future self now. And then when you're ready, put your hands on your heart, take a deep breath. See, feel, experience, know that all is well. Everything that happened this year has been released. And you're in a state of relaxation and receiving. And you get to peek and peer into your future now. It's like getting a preview of a movie. What do you see? How does it feel? What are you looking forward to most? Amazing. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Come back into the room. You might take a moment to ground yourself. You can lift your heels and drop them. And take time to journal on what came up for you. When you got a preview into your future, what did you see? What did you feel? Like watching a preview of a movie. Right? When you watch a preview of a movie, it's like, ooh, you don't get the whole story, but you see little characters, little events. What are you excited about? So usually to check in at the end, I get you to close your eyes again. One more time, check in on what does that bin, container, bundle look like now of all the things that happened this year. For me, it's like way behind me now. If there are any moments standing out or stepping forward to be healed, I would invite you to come do deeper tapping with us. That's called Parts of Self Work. It's advanced EFT. It is phenomenally healing. But also remember to turn and look at the path ahead, like a preview of a movie. What do you see? What little sneak peek are you excited about? Feel free to share below. If you loved this tapping today and you loved learning this technique, I invite you to join us inside of Tapping School. It is a 5-month process where I teach you the basics of EFT and beyond. You become a certified practitioner so you can work confidently with yourself and others. This isn't a course, this is a skill that you're gaining. So it includes modules, it includes pod calls where you get to tap in person with other classmates. It includes Q&As and business brainstorming calls. We teach you everything you need to know to become a confident practitioner and facilitate healing sessions like this. So feel free to send me a message wherever you're finding this video, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, email. Find me, send me a message. I'm happy to share with you the details of Tapping School. And I want to hear what happened for you in this session. So please send me a message. Tell me what you saw in this tapping visualization. I can't wait to see what you do next into 2024 and beyond. Bye, everyone.